Okay. So... Let's finish the first case. It's literally the first case. Actually, I want to see how many cases there are really quick. It should be like all the other ones. So, a Great Ace Attorney has how many cases? Yeah, so 5 cases plus 1 DLC. Oh no, five cases. Yeah, so this is excuse me. So this is 5 cases, like most Ace Attorneys. My gosh. And it's like the longest one. Usually Ace Attorney games are like 30 hours long, and I think I've spent like over 3 hours on just the tutorial. Usually it's like the last cases are just super long. Whatever. We'll just keep chugging along. Is this actually my 4th stream, or is this my 5th stream on this? No, this is 4. Okay, cool. Yeah, we're good. All right, let's do this. Assuming Katie's here. Okay, I actually have something stuck in my teeth. I don't have a floss pick. Just 1 second. 1 second. Ah, so much better. I had a broccoli floret stuck in my teeth. And I could feel it. And I knew I was going to feel it the whole time. I was like, no, I have to deal with this. Hi. Are you ready, kids? I can't hear you. Well, I understand you are the judicial assistant to the defense, but why this sudden ingress into my courtroom?
Huh, a judicial assistant? And a woman, no less. The rules state that females are not permitted into this court of law other than to testify.
Yes, I fully understand. I only ask for 5 minutes of time. I have some vital evidence that I must hand over to the defense.
Ha! You're too late, little girl. This trial's already concluded.
5 minutes. I will not allow a moment more.
But, Your Excellency...
I'm trying to adjust the audio, sorry. There we go, that's better. The game audio was a little loud for me.
But Your Excellency...
I am most grateful. Who are you exactly? I'm sorry, there's no time. Please accept this for now. What is it? A report about something written in English? It's Giselle Brett's research. The Englishwoman's? After the trial resumed earlier, I hurried back to the university. I went to Dr. Wilson's laboratory in the medical faculty and borrowed this paper. Oh yes, that's right. Miss Brett was studying under the professor, wasn't she? So does this research, whatever it is, have something to do with the case? I'm afraid I don't know. I haven't been able to listen to the proceedings of the trial myself. Oh no, of course not. Special characteristics of Curare and its effects on human subjects. Interesting. Curare? What's that? I've never heard that word before. Is it a poison?
Time's up. The prosecution demands the immediate removal of this female from the courtroom.
There's too little time for me to read it in detail, but I've summarized what I could on a note just inside the cover. If you think it could be valuable, please cast your eye over it. This is wonderful, thank you. Susato didn't do it. Giselle's report. A report detailing an unknown poison that Miss Brett has been researching during her time in Yume University. Yeah, he was poisoned. Goodbye then, and good luck. Well, she faded out of existence, so that was pretty crazy. You have had long enough, counsel. We cannot detain our English guest any longer. You absolutely were right about the poison. I ask the prosecution and the defense now, one last time. Does either side have any further evidence to present the court? I presume not, but...
The prosecution has made its case convincingly enough already. Nothing more to add, Your Excellency.
Ryunosuke, we're out of options here. This really is our very last chance. Yes, I know. Your Excellency, the defense does have new evidence.
That look. The unyielding stare of a true Japanese warrior. Well, Miss Brett?
Yes, Your Excellency.
If you wouldn't mind, perhaps you could grace us with your presence a little longer.
It is a delightful invitation, but I'm afraid it's not very long until tea time. I have to politely decline.
Forgive me, Miss Brett. It seems I wasn't clear. I realize it was phrased as a question, however. I must ask you to treat that as an order.
I've said it many times before, but the Japanese language makes no sense.
My apologies, dear lady. So, counsel, what is this new evidence that demands the court's attention?
It's this. A poison made from the bark of certain trees in the jungles of South America. The hunters of the region have used it since ancient times to incapacitate their prey. Effects: instant paralysis of the entire body and subsequent death, even in minute doses. Route of entry: the above mentioned effect occurs when the poison enters the body through a wound, such as that inflicted by a blowpipe dart. Due to its ability to render the human body paralytic, it's believed that the toxin could have application as an anesthetic. However, a solution for the respiratory arrest caused as a result of the full body paralysis must be found first, or patients would die of suffocation.
Yes!
Miss Giselle Brett, we understand that you're studying under Dr. Wilson at Yume University, doing research. Research, by sheer coincidence perhaps, into a deadly poison.
What?
Poison. Where are you going with this, counsel?
A toxin known as Curare, Your Excellency. Even the slightest amount of this deadly poison entering the body leads to an instant death.
What? What complete and utter nonsense? Curare, you say? I've never even heard of it.
You wouldn't have done. What? You wouldn't have done?
What do you mean?
I mean that you wouldn't have heard of Curare before for one very simple reason. It doesn't exist in our country. Doesn't exist. Correct, which means no matter what tests the police can do for toxins, they'd never identify Curare. Why? Because there is no test available here that can identify the presence of this highly deadly poison.
What?
Order! Order! I ordered my fries yesterday and they still haven't arrived. Counsel, does this deadly poison truly exist?
According to the report authorized by visiting research students from England, Curare has long been used by the tribespeople of South America as a poison to lace their arrows. It seems that it's reasonably well known among European doctors and scientists.
To lace their arrows?
The report states that it's produced from the extract of a tree that grows deep in the Amazonian jungle, and it was first brought back to Europe at the turn of the century by explorers. It claims that animals shot by the arrows laced with curare suffered instant death. Doesn't that about sum it up, Miss Brett?
Trumpery! These aspirations are utter trumpery. To start with, if the victim had been administered some of this so-called deadly poison, he would have been squirming and writhing in pain, and the other diners would have surely noticed.
That's true. Well, what do you say to that, Inspector?
Obviously, I would have noticed a disturbance like that. I don't remember anything like that either. I didn't notice the professor being in any kind of pain. According to this, however, it's the other way around.
What do you mean, the other way around?
The very fact that the victim didn't show any visible signs of distress is evidence that curare was used.
Explain yourself, Counsel.
The moment this toxin enters a person's system, it causes instant paralysis. In other words, afflicted victims lose all strength and are completely unable to move. Even if they were in total agony, there would be no visible signs of pain at all. How terrible. Obviously, if a man lost all strength in his muscles, he'd collapse on the floor. But with a chair under him for support, as Dr. Wilson did, the effect could go largely unnoticed. I don't follow, Kazuma. That's just paralysis. I thought the poison caused instant death. The full explanation is extremely unpleasant. The poison causes immediate paralysis, as I said, leaving the victim unable to move. But after a short time, the paralysis is so severe, it causes the muscles that control respiration to fail. Respiration? What is that? I'm just kidding. He doesn't ask that. In other words, the actual cause of death is suffocation, and all the while the victim is conscious and aware, just unable to move.
That's hideous!
To the observer, it would look almost like the victim was slipping peacefully into an endless sleep. But for the victim himself, his final moments would be a living hell. That is the true nature of this deadly curare poison.
That's hardcore.
And you're suggesting that this bottle, Counsel, actually contains this terrifying poison?
This is all very convenient, isn't it? A hitherto unknown poison for which there is no means of testing? What a happy tale for the defense.
If I may.
All these facts. You think you're so clever. You must be taught some...
It is you who must be taught.
Of course. Dear lady.
So, this is how you Japanese behave, is it? What? You steal another's honest hard work and then announce the results of it, as if you discovered them. I'm appalled. What a loathsome act. Well, Miss Brett, the feeling is mutual. Whatever do you mean? Capitalizing on the unfortunate circumstances of an innocent man to frame him for a heinous crime? That really is a loathsome act, wouldn't you agree?
Enough of this. I, for one, refuse to accept it. The idea of some poison that doesn't even exist in the great empire of Japan is breaking the rules.
Ha ha ha. What's so funny?
Oh, excuse me, Your Excellency.
Yes, Miss Brett.
May I borrow that bottle for a moment, please?
Well, I was drinking it, but sure, you can have some of it. Why not?
Hey! You subscribed to Prime. 27 months. But a 1 month streak. Thank you. I appreciate that. Don't get too big for your boots, you insignificant little island boys. Not the island boys, no! Sorry. To an English woman such as myself, this whole affair is a farcical comedy. Your little police games and these foolish courtroom antics, it's laughable, really. But I'm getting bored of it all now. It's time for the games to end. Cheers! Oh, wow, I just heard the... Found a laptop that worked. Lol, thank you. That's sweet of you. You didn't have to do that. Wait, what are you doing? I'm killing myself. I'm showing you that it won't kill anybody. No sparkle left at all. How appropriate for this shabby affair. Nice emote. Yeah. Eee. Goodness. Whatever is the matter? You all look quite stunned. She has a natural resistance to it. No, yeah, she drank it. Because she didn't poison the bottle. She poisoned the glass that she poured for him, obviously. So, no cure air. The bottle was clean. Is that what you're saying? Ha ha ha, I drank the evidence. You look quite incredulous, little boy, but of course, that's the simple truth. Thank you for presenting the findings of my research so concisely here in this grand venue, most kind. Grr. Thank you, waiter. Now then, your excellency.
Yes, Miss Brett.
I should like to be excused now, please. I think I've given more than enough of my time for the furtherance of friendship between our countries.
Yes, dear lady. We are most gratified with all the assistance you have given. This doesn't make sense. There had to have been poison in that bottle. So how did she... How did she swallow the whole glass and live to tell the tale? I don't understand it. I can't tell what's ad-libbed and what's not. Oh, so sorry. Well, I suppose, if nothing else, this little Far Eastern charade will make for an interesting conversation at the next party I attend in London. There has to have been poison in that bottle. Doesn't there? Maybe we should have her lick out the glass that was served to him. The court would love to see that because we're all acting like freaking weirdos around this lady. I'm going to adjust something really quick. Hold on. There we go. It's just recentering my camera a little bit so when I look off to the side, I'm not like flying off to the side. Okay. Okay, here we go. Oh, here we go. But there can't have been, because otherwise she would have keeled over dead. Come on, Ryunosuke. We have all the clues now. That bottle of water? The bottle doesn't contain poison, but the poison was placed into... Yeah, it contains no poison because she spiked like his drink or something. I don't know. Does it say like... It probably doesn't say anything about how to administer it. Instant paralysis, sudden death.
Blood pipe dart, paralytic, anesthetic, kills you instantly. Gotcha. There's no poison. As I thought, there is no poison in that bottle. What? Why, Ryanosuke? Isn't it obvious? If there was poison in there, she'd be dead by now. Sometimes, your unadulterated naivety really astounds me. But sometimes, it's in need of a good staining. Until it's as dark as your uniform and the ways of the world. Oh, is that what this color is supposed to represent? That was a guileless ending to a promising line of inquiry, Counsel, for which you will be penalized. Really? Then how's she not dead? This whole trial is poisoned. There has to have been poison, but there can't have been. Didn't she just poison his glass and not the bottle? Because otherwise she'd be dead. I guess the answer is there is poison. The culprit did put Kira poison into Dr. Wilson's carbonated water. The defense refuses to change its position. You're serious?
Fool, are you blind? There is no possible way that bottle contained poison. I mean, we just saw.
Yeah, we did. Somehow. Miss Brett drinking water from it? That's right. Which rather complicates your argument, I think. And I believe that complication can be explained.
How exactly?
I need to think through all the things that don't quite add up here, one by one. I'm sure the answer is in the evidence we have in the court record somewhere. It has to be.
Very well. If the defense truly intends to assert this claim, then I must ask you to support the assertion with evidence. What explains how the witness was able to consume this supposedly poisoned water unscathed?
Well, I don't know, because apparently my logic isn't logical. She because labels are in a foreign language. I think I might have checked this before. It's French, expensive water. Hey, go to France and ask. Yep, I did this yesterday. It's the bottom of the bottle. I don't know. It's the fact that there's a glass in here. What am I answering again? What explains how the witness is able to consume this supposedly poisoned water unscathed? Because it has to go in through a wound, it said, right? It didn't say you couldn't drink it. Because it says... route of entry. Occurs when poison enters the body through a wound. The answer to this riddle is right here in Miss Brett's own research report.
That's not a valid explanation.
No?
After all, we don't speak English. That report is utter gibberish. This impudent young scoundrel is trying to ridicule the court, Your Excellency.
I'm not trying to ridicule anyone, honest. I'm just reading Susato-san's notes.
I concur. This report is too extensive to be considered in its entirety by the court. TLDR, as they say on the internet, which has been invented somehow. You will direct us to this pertinent section, Counsel. Which section of the report reveals the alleged answer to the riddle?
Practical application special. I need to look at it and see what they titled it. Thanks. Special characteristics. We've been hearing a lot about this cure air poison. And it's left me curious about something.
Oh, Counsel?
Well, it sounds as though indigenous hunters have been using this poison for years and years to lace the heads of the arrows that they shoot at whatever prey they're hunting.
So we've been led to believe, yes.
And the point of hunting is to catch prey to eat.
Get to the point, please.
But if they were to use these laced arrows, doesn't that mean that there would be traces of poison left in the prey that the hunters are going to eat? Thanks for the hydrate. Yes, good point. So surely the hunters wouldn't want to eat their prey, would they? Because then they'd be eating poison.
Good gracious, Counsel. No, that would be madness. But this is Sparta.
I actually found the answers to the conundrum in this research paper here. Under special characteristics, it says this. The poison starts to work after entering the body through a wound.
Through a wound, you say?
Oh, wow. A wild card. I get to choose what to draw? Are we taking the break now? You want me to take the break now? Okay. I'll draw whatever I want. You tell me when to take the break, okay?
I see, that makes sense.
Yes, the mention of that particular detail seemed a little strange to me, though. But it all makes sense when you interpret what's written like this. When cure air enters the body through an open wound, it has terrifying poisonous effects. However, when it enters the body via the mouth, it has no poisonous effects whatsoever.
What?
Miss Brett, you authorized this research. You knew cure air's special characteristics. And you knew that you could make a spectacle of drinking that water without any danger to yourself. You meddling little... What? Rapscallion! That was an actual swan on her hat. Well, Ryunosuke, it turns out you're an even better lawyer than I thought you'd be. Really? Me? A lawyer?
Oh, all this poison talk is fascinating, I'm sure. But I fail to see how it possibly...
So, the ill-bred little puppy has a new toy to play with. Some facts he read in a book. But I'm afraid knowledge doesn't suit you, little boy. It only makes you look silly. What are you trying to say? Your schoolboyish logic has a fatal flaw. Schoolboyish? Flaw? Even as your brain has managed to deduce, Cuirae is safe to ingest. It seems likely that its effects are neutralized by the acidic nature of the gastric succus. Oh, yes, the gastric succus, of course. Gastric suckers, what are they? Obviously, he just had his tooth operated on, so he had a wound in his mouth. So if this lethal poison is completely harmless when drunk, the professor wouldn't have died when he swallowed it, would he? He had a wound in his mouth, so that's why he couldn't eat. We went over this. We already know this. Ah!
That's right.
Good gracious.
That's basic science. Science that even a schoolboy should be able to understand, no?
Order, order, my fries have finally arrived. The logic holds. If the lady and the professor drank the same poison, they would be affected in the same way.
Except he had a wound in his mouth from getting the tooth removed. Did you guys forget 10 minutes ago?
Are you trying to suggest?
Yes, this Curare poison is completely irrelevant to the case on trial.
That's right. Except for the gaping mouth wound that he had in his mouth that we extensively talked about in the same day earlier in the trial. Surely even a little cockroach like you could understand something as simple as that. What is this welling up inside me? I've never felt like this before. It's sort of a conviction to break down all the discrepancies. It's so intense, almost rage-like. Thanks. It's not just that I had a good memory, though. Like, we talked about this extensively, and in their timeline, it was literally like maybe an hour ago when they talked about it. And they just like completely forgot that he has a gaping wound in his mouth, and that's why he wasn't the one that ate the steak. Which is the whole reason we found her. Like, they should realize this. More than anything else, it's an animalistic desire to take down my prey. I'm gonna put Curare poison in you! Oh. I don't think so, Miss Giselle Brett.
How dare you use that tone with me?
You know very well that there is no fatal flaw here. You know exactly why, even though both you and the victim swallowed the same poison. You are alive, but Dr. Wilson is dead.
Counsel, I'm sure I don't need to remind you, but you must provide compelling evidence, since we all forgot a few minutes ago. As we now know, this poison is completely harmless when ingested. Why would Dr. Wilson and his gaping, toothless wound in his mouth be killed by the Curare?
Yes, I ad-libbed that. Because he's not... As Miss Brett so readily pointed out, she drank the same water as the professor. Stop, I can't tell. Sorry. However, there was a fundamental and fatal difference between the two diners.
A fatal difference? Like a...
I'm ad-libbing this.
Like a tooth that's missing in his mouth, causing a gaping wound that would allow the poison in.
The toxic effects from Curare are only felt when the poison enters the body through an open wound, like a missing tooth. So for a healthy person with no injuries, drinking it's completely harmless. But what if there was a wound inside the mouth of the person drinking the poisoned water? Like...
Inside? Like somebody who just had their tooth removed?
Yes, like the wound you might have if you just had been to the dentist and had a tooth extracted, for example.
I can't believe I forgot that.
Okay. Miss Brett, you've acknowledged many times in your testimony already that you were well aware that Dr. Wilson's had a dental appointment that day. So that's it. You used that knowledge to orchestrate this. Is she... laughing?
I don't like to repeat myself, but honestly, I can't resist. These childish cartoon games and your half-baked arguments are so puerile.
What do you mean?
Don't worry, little schoolboy. You'll find out soon enough. You see, when you leave vital evidence lying around, you never know what might happen to it.
No.
I mean, I could just slip. Oh dear, how careless of me. I'm afraid some crucial evidence may have just been tragically destroyed.
No! I mean, the judge just saw you do that. What is it? What just happened? It's the English woman. She just smashed the bottle. And in the Supreme Court, what a terrible blunder.
Officer, what are you waiting for? Kill this woman immediately.
Okay, I added that last part too.
Collect up as much of the water from that broken bottle as possible at once.
You're wasting your time. This delightful carpet under my feet here was a gift from the British Empire. I assure you it will soak up the water beautifully, and as we all know, you can't squeeze and wring out a rug. It's impossible. I'm sorry, it's so stupid. I have to make fun of it in their own voices. You have neither the technology nor the presence of mind to recover it. So she admits it. Ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. How could you? You won't get away with this. You can thump the bench and shout as much as you like, little boy. But I'm afraid we'll never know now, will we? If there really was poison in the bottle or not.
You.
And let us not forget, we still have some very compelling evidence left intact. Isn't that right, counsel for the prosecution?
Oh, of course, of course. You're referring to this photographic print, I assume, dear lady.
That's right. And really, looking at this photograph, it's as clear as day, isn't it? The poor professor was sitting with his back to me. No, he was sitting in your seat because that's where the food was, which is something I still don't understand. So of course, the only person who could have shot him in the front is the little schoolboy. I'm sorry, it's too tempting.
No, you killed the victim that day, using cure air. And then, in order to frame Ryunosuke Naruhodo for the crime, you waited until he picked up the pistol you arranged for him to find on the floor. I would literally look at the pistol and be like, that's weird, somebody dropped their pistol, and I'd probably keep moving. Before you shot the professor's dead body in the chest with your own hidden gun. Then, in the confusion that followed, all you had to do was turn the dead professor in his chair around. You see, you had every opportunity to commit this crime.
Ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. What a wonderful imagination you have, young man. A hidden gun, you say, and I shot the professor's dead body, did I? Well, I'm terribly sorry, but you don't have a shred of evidence.
Exactly. And as you have nothing to support your wild claims, the prosecution's stance remains unchanged. Aha. The victim, Dr. John H. Wilson, was killed by a gunshot to the chest. After he was poisoned, delivered in cold blood by the accused, Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
This is unbelievable. How can this be happening? How could this happen to me? We had her, but now, is she really going to get away with it?
Why did she do this? We still don't know. We have no motivation for this yet.
The way she destroyed that evidence was obscene.
Ryunosuke,
Yes?
we've come this far, but now you're the only one who can finish it.
What? What do you mean?
We lost a vital piece of evidence, it's true. If there's any clues left for us to use now, they must be in your head.
In my head?
You told me before that your powers of observation were the one thing you could really depend on.
Well, yes, that's true, but I didn't manage to notice that this woman was a foreigner with a swan on her head.
So think back again now, and try to remember every last detail about the scene that day. Everything you saw, everything you felt, every color, every smell.
They said color with a U, that's why I pronounce it that way.
What I saw, what I felt. Every color. Is Kazuma right? Somewhere in the vibrant memory of the scene in my head. Could there be another clue to expose the identity of Dr. Wilson's killer?
There's nothing. Of course there's a clue.
Actually, Kazuma, I think I might have something. Thinking back over everything I saw, I think I might have uncovered another clue.
Haha, you always have something up your sleeve, don't you, Ryunosuke? Come on then, let's wipe that smug smile off the English woman's face with some evidence.
Alright, I can't wait. We colorized this photo and put blood right here. Just kidding. It's been niggling me for a while that something feels amiss in my memories of that day. Whatever it is could be the key to arriving at the truth about all of this. It's here somewhere, the clue that shows who Dr. Wilson's real killer must have been. Maybe it's the blood spot directly in front of our faces. Inspector Hosonaga, answer me this! Yes, what is it? He's still miles away, probably thinking about that bottle being smashed. As you said a number of times now, you strive for perfection in your investigations, don't you? Absolutely. I wonder, therefore, if perhaps you took anything else from the scene of the crime. Like, for instance, the plate of steak that you took to the victim's table that day.
Wait a minute. Where are you going with it?
Where are you going with this, little boy? It's just a memory that's been troubling me. What memory? I saw the scene shown in the photographic print with my own eyes that day. And I saw that on the wooden base plate of that the steak was served on, was a spattering of blood. They actually did it right, and then I did it wrong. It's not splatter, it's spatter.
What?
Oh, really? And what of it? Obviously, that must have happened when you shot the professor. No, that can't be the case. Take a good look at this photograph and the relative position of everything there. And the bullet didn't go all the way through, as we saw in the autopsy report. The plate of steak is almost directly behind the victim. If I'm supposed to have shot Dr. Wilson in the chest from the front, there's no way that the blood on the victim could have ended up directly behind him. Well, let me guess, they all forgot that the bullet got lodged in him, am I right?
Ah!
Yes. For blood to have made it onto the plate, it implies that the plate was between the victim and the shooter, which means that the shooter must have been sitting opposite of the professor, as you were. Giselle Brett. I beg your pardon?
This is beyond ridiculous. Fabricated nonsense. Is the court seriously expected to believe something the accused has apparently just remembered seeing?
So I just want to say one thing. She smashed the evidence and all the judge said was like, bailiff, please collect that stuff as much as you can. He wasn't like, how dare you smash evidence? That's illegal. He was just like, oh, we should collect that up. That's it? Not you just ruined this entire court case? Go directly to jail, do not pass go? Like, okay. They are so dumb. This could be the moment that my entire career in the police force has been leading to. Inspector, you mean? Their memory's worse than mine. Their memory's terrible. Yes, I took the plate. In the interests of preserving evidence from the scene of the crime. I took it, meat and all, and I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief because of it. You did what? I took the steak that you had been eating, Miss Brett. I took the steak that the sergeant had been eating. And I did it all in the name of justice. Then we can find out for sure whether or not there's a bloodstain on Miss Brett's plate. And we must examine it now. She's gonna get dunked.
Inspector, the court wishes to examine the plate from the victim's table immediately.
Yes, sir. Sorry for the delay.
Here's what you ordered. The steak.
Well, what about the blood? Was there blood on it?
Of course there isn't.
Quickly, Inspector. The blood man. Show the court.
Of course. Examine the plate at your leisure. Or leisure, depending. There's no blood. No blood. I don't know who's saying that. No blood anywhere. But no, that's impossible. I know I saw it. I'm sure of it. It was right there on the table behind the professor. There was blood on the side of the plate. Heh heh heh. What an unbecoming expression, little boy. You see, this is why I always say you can't trust what the Japanese tell you.
Ah!
I couldn't agree more. Never trust the Japanese. In the case of this disgrace to the Empire.
I believe we may have finally reached a conclusion in this trial.
Let's hope so. Let's pretend attempt at courtroom proceedings is this pretend this let's pretend attempt at courtroom proceedings is painful to watch. That's really hard for me to read for some reason. But I do promise to do my best to forget all about it when it's over.
Ha! This sorry-looking stick reveals the facts all too clearly. If the sorry-looking accused wishes to examine it again, be my guest. Be my guest.
However that song goes. This plate of steak has been entered into the court record. Oops, I was gonna read it, but I can read it. It's fine. Was the plate I saw, or I thought I saw, just a figment of my imagination? Meal Miss Brett ordered for lunch. It was removed from the victim's table without incident. There's a...
Huh? What in the world is this?
I think it's a Koban coin. And the hallmark is from the Hoi era, I believe. She stole the coin and hid it under that?
No, I don't mean what is it. I mean, what's it doing there? Wait, did you say it was Hoi Koban?
Yes. And apart from the meat juices, it looks to be in good condition. I imagine it's very valuable.
This isn't the first time today that there's been talk of a Hoi Koban.
I've heard of pearls before swine, but I've never heard of a bullion in bullion.
I don't think you ever will again. This is extraordinary, though. This means something. It means something.
I certainly never expected to find a precious coin underneath this thick cut of steak. And it's from the Hoi era, too. That would make it really quite valuable.
It's well marinated in the juices as well, look.
What? Are you thinking of eating it?
No, but the next time I order a steak in an expensive restaurant, one thing's for sure. My heart's gonna be racing as I lift up the meat and peer underneath for a prize.
I think you might have the wrong end of the stick about this, Ryunosuke.
A Koban coin underneath the steak. There's only one logical explanation.
I don't know what it is. I don't know why.
This emblem on the side of the plate.
The Chicago Bulls.
Is it a cat?
It's a cow, obviously. Most likely the restaurant's signature beef dish steak. Most likely because of that. Seems a lot of different restaurants have their own unique tableware.
So this is the symbol of La Carnival, is it? They like their steak a little too rare for me.
So there's no blood, but the Koban coin was there? What does that mean?
This is it now. I've lost.
Ryunosuke. It's not over yet. Not until this final gavel. Never stop believing in yourself. Keep looking forward no matter what.
Believe in myself that believes in me, really? Maybe I should at least examine the evidence for myself.
As the evidence requested by the defense has not been shown to be problematic in any way, I presume any further examination of evidence in this trial will be unnecessary. Does the defense have any objection?
That bloodstain was gonna clinch the trial for me. Can this plate of steak reveal any other clues at all? Yes, I already looked at it. Remember 2 seconds ago when I looked at it? Sorry, I don't mean to yell. Your Excellency, please wait. This plate of beef is hiding another clue. Another clue that will reveal the shocking truth.
The only thing that's shocking here is your unhealthy fascination with beefsteak.
Your Excellency, I think I've made myself clear, haven't I? I will not be able to turn a blind eye to any more unnecessary procrastination in this trial.
I'm sorry, Miss Brett, but we must ensure a thorough examination of evidence. I will not give a ruling until I'm completely satisfied that all reasonable doubt has been dispelled.
I see. As a newly affirmed ally of this country, that's still your position, is it?
Thank you, Your Excellency.
Counsel for the defense, you will now clearly show the court what you are alluding to. Where precisely on the plate of beefsteak is this new clue?
It's under the beefsteak. Huh? What in the world is this? I think it's a Koban coin. We just did this. I'm skipping it. We just did this. It's the same dialogue. Certainly, it's the same dialogue. We just did this. My heart's racing as I lift up the meat the next time that I get the coin. I did it. That's not it? Oh, I have to present it. Excuse me.
Good gracious, that's...
A Koban!
What on earth?
Ahoy. Oh, sorry.
Ahoy air one at that.
Miss Brett. This is in fact the beefsteak that you ordered at the restaurant on the day in question, is it? Tell me. Why is there an old coin seemingly hidden underneath the meat?
What a ridiculous question. How should I know? I've never seen that thing before in my life. I don't know what this is, and I want no part of it.
Why did it happen twice? Because the game's dumb.
I fail to see how this is relevant. A coin under the meat? I put coins under my meat all the time.
Okay. I'm sorry for that ad-lib.
That could simply have been a careless mistake by the chef in a moment of distraction.
Don't be absurd. We're supposed to believe that this happened by accident in the kitchen. A rare Hoei Koban that just happens to be hidden underneath that piece of steak. If this turns out to be irrelevant to the case, I'll rip up my ticket to Great Britain right now. He's right. It can't be a coincidence. Your Excellency.
Yes, Counsel.
A rare Hoei Koban just happens to be hidden underneath a piece of steak? If this turns out to be irrelevant to the case, I'll give up on my lawyer job right now.
By all means, don't let us stop you. No one invited you anyway.
Perhaps, little boy, you should realize that it is you who is irrelevant.
Even though I'm the one on trial here. Blake is forgiven. The point is, it's essential that we ask the owner of this coin if he can explain what it was doing under that steak.
The owner.
He forgot. Do I really have to present who the owner is? Did you guys forget? It's like the same day. It was like an hour ago. Are you guys being serious right now? There's only one person it can belong to. The owner of the Koban that was found underneath the beefsteak is... And why do I have to present this? How do you not know? Obviously, and really obviously, It can only be the antiques dealer and owner of Rasute, Kyorio Kuriketa-san. I messed up his name really bad.
Curie, as in Mr. Cucumber something. What? Honestly, these ridiculous Japanese names are quite unfathomable.
Ah, yes. That's a lost in translation for sure. The old man who testified earlier alongside the military sergeant, correct?
Yes, Your Excellency. Obviously.
I remember him saying that he was up to something with his Koban coin when it happened. At exactly the moment the gun was fired.
The gunshot interested me not. It was far too busy on the floor.
Too busy on the floor? Sorry, what were you doing?
Hunting for treasure. Indeed, the Hoer Koban, my prized coin.
Then this Hoer Koban. Do you mean to tell me?
No, please. Why would Kurikuta-san's Koban be sandwiched between the victim's beefsteak and its plate? It makes no sense.
Because he also ordered a beefsteak, and they swapped the plates, so his was the one that had blood on it. Which is why I'm asking to bring Kurikuta-san back to the witness stand so we can ask him.
Officer, bring both witnesses that testified earlier back in here, without a moment's delay.
I can't believe we come back around to that pair again. But I have a hunch, a strong hunch, that if we chase down the real significance of this Koban, we'll find a key element in the case. What's this all about? Why have I been called up again? Don't you realize that it's dinner time for little baby Ido? When my son's belly is empty, he's fiercer than a pack of wolves.
Exploited by the police we were, like miserable dogs forced to bear false witness. And then cast from this courtroom, myself, I became a ruined man in a trice.
I don't know what that means.
A worthless, withered antique. Nothing more I have to say. The sun has set on this Rasute shop owner's existence.
Be that as it may, Kurikuta-san, something has come to light that requires your clarification. As far as your Rasute memory serves, have you ever seen this?
Ah! Yes, that's the one, the very one, the very exact that is. The resplendent, splendoriferous Hoy treasure that my rusty bones managed to misplace that fateful day. The golden sphere.
It can't be.
As I thought.
Young man, enlighten this decrepit old fool. Put me out of my misery. Where was my treasure? Where was it dropped?
Oh, I'm not sure if it was dropped anywhere. We found your coin sandwiched between the beefsteak and its plate, soaking in the seasoned meat's juices.
Sandwiched? Soaking? Seriously?
Clearly, it couldn't have fallen there by accident.
The golden sphere?
Yeah. Which means somebody must have hidden it somewhere on purpose. Hidden it there on purpose.
Somebody concealed my Hoy treasure between a slab of meat and a metal plate?
I know. How do you misplace it in meat, right?
Who would do such a thing? Such an unconscionable thing?
Excuse me. Could I say something? Yes, of course.
Proceed, Inspector Hosonaga.
I mentioned this earlier on the trial, but I was working undercover in the restaurant in order to investigate another case.
Ah, yes, that's right. The secret undercover operation.
La Carnival is a high-class Western cuisine restaurant. It attracts wealthy diners, including many foreigners. Recently, there's been a run of similarly executed thefts, targeting the restaurant's rich clientele. A number of incidents have been reported to the police bureau.
Wicked crimes indeed.
We wanted to nip the case in the bud quickly, especially with so many foreigners being affected.
So that's why you were sent in undercover, is it?
Yes, I took the job as waiter at the restaurant in order to flush out the criminal. It seems likely that this Koban incident is the work of the same thief.
So unbeknownst to us, there was a master thief at work in the restaurant on a regular basis. The place was already the scene of several crimes, it seems. I don't know about the master thief part, but the identity of the person who stole and hid the Korakuta-san's Koban coin is all too clear.
What?
What? I think the court would like to hear the defense's view on this matter. Tell us, who is the despicable scoundrel who stole Korakuta-san's Koban and hid it under the stake?
It's Miss Delta Swan, or whatever her name is. It's Miss... Is it Emma Swan, or... What's her name? I don't remember. Now is a good time for me to do my drawing. My drawing. Okay. I'm going to do my terrible transition that's broken that I haven't fixed yet. I think it's chat zone. Oh. Wait, was it waiting room or was it chat zone? No, it is this one. It is this one. Okay. Let's see. And you guys, yeah, so you're not able to hear the game now. Perfect. Okay. So I can take this sucker off. Let's see. I have to get some paper to draw on. Oh, I have some paper right here that I drew on last time. Back of my medical documents. Let's see. Oh, it's got my birthday on it and stuff. Maybe I don't want to show that one. I need a surface with which to draw upon. Oh, right. I think I used this before. Let's see. Perfect. Draw on my tablet. Man, look at the color difference between my two cameras. Why is it that the cheap camera looks so good and then the expensive one looks so not good? Anyway, let's get to drawing. Alright, I get to draw whatever I want this time. So, let's alter my setup a little bit here. I'm just going to shove face cam in the corner a bit. And then we're going to take this guy. And we... Oh, okay, hold on. I got this. Okay, hold on. I got this. Okay, that's better. That's better. Well, let's cross out my personal information here. be significantly difficult to read at this point. Do. Let's see. I can't really make the camera focus on this very well. What you gonna draw? Let's do this. I'm gonna draw something I think Ace Attorney related, since the last time I drew this it was related to the Mario stuff. There's gotta be a better way to do this. Like, this camera actually has a zoom function, so I should probably use this. I should actually swap the setup. Hold on. I think I can make this a better setup if you just give me a minute. So, we're going to do this backwards. Okay. Well, this is in the way a little bit. Okay, it's not in the way now. So, you are going to be face cam. And then you are going to be drawing cam. So face cam needs to be... Hold on. Sorry, I have to change a few things. Wee. So you get all up in there. And then I just have to do this. Just do what I was taught here. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's the good stuff. The things you pick up along the way. Especially when your friends know how to strain. You're the face cam. And then I have to make it so that this camera goes up here. And now you are going to be... Yeah, it's better. Oh, I covered the... Oh, wait, I have an idea. Okay. Cool. Now I have to take this, and we're going to do this. We're going to face it. We're going to face it. Come on now. Face it down. Okay. Sorry, this will take a minute here. So we are going to... And then I just want it to tilt down more. Come on. It doesn't want to... There. Okay, perfect. Okay, now... There. How about that? Wait, I have an even crazier idea. Okay, what if I take this and I do this? Oh! Oh my gosh. How about that? Okay. So I need to... So I get to pick here, so let me see. It's clear too. I mean, it's not bad. It's like you can actually see what I'm doing this time. Normally you just like can't see what I'm doing at all. Let's see here. I feel like I need a new piece of paper, honestly. Okay, I'm gonna get a new piece of paper.
not such a big thing anymore.
I don't know what you're talking
The
about.
pastor at the church I went to this morning, sermon was really good.
Oh,
And he said he's gonna speak on it more in depth on Tuesday night. And I said, I wish Alina could go to that, but she'll probably opt to go to trivia night at a bar instead. Dad said, yeah, I've been there, but he's thinking of the bar in Hillsborough.
Oh.
But yeah, it'd be good if you could go to it too. It's very interesting,
are we
especially considering what's going on in the world right now.
supposed to go to a bar?
No. They'll hear this pastor that spoke today speak about the end times, things like that. Well, we have pizza now, so I don't feel compelled to make turkey burgers.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Huh, well that sucks. We are not doing turkey burgers. Alright. This setup is so much better. It's like unbelievable. Alright. Alright. Let's go. This is not going to be easy, but we're going to do it. Oh, welcome back. Are you going to text me? Okay. All right, I got you. I see you. I see what you said. It's Phoenix Wrote. It is Phoenix Wrote because I'm wrote him with my pen. It's Phoenix Wright. I know what you meant. The original OG, not this Ryunosuke kid. Although I don't mind Ryunosuke at all, or whatever his name is. Yeah, I'm trying to make him point. They get a big old meaty finger in there. Get his thumb in there. And we'll throw in a couple other fingers, because people have multiple fingers, I guess. I feel like he's missing a digit. Let's add another digit on there. There we go. There should be like his underside of his hand right here, and then like maybe part of his arm sleeve here. He should have like a inner sleeve, and then like his actual like attorney outfit or something. I don't know. Now it just looks like he's pointing with two fingers. He's like, okay. Okay. like this? Like this? Why? Why on earth? Okay. I can build it out a little bit more. Like I forgot to draw his tie. Hold on. He just has like a little collar thing. Actually, I was gonna show it, but I'm gonna. Why are you supposed to do that? His little jacket thing. I think you're more artistic than you think. Oh, thanks. His little jacket should do something like this. I've always considered myself to be like somewhat artistic. I just didn't. I just don't draw that much. I'm gonna put his little badge on there. Give him like a button. Okay. Oh, wait. Oh, gosh, it's upside down. I have to show it upside down, too. There you... How about that? Because he's getting pointed at. He's like, me? Aw, thank you. I can build it out a bit more if you want me to. Like, I think his eyebrow needs to go down a little bit so he looks angrier. Yeah, let me know if you want me to draw it a bit more. This isn't as good as like the Toadette one. At least it's not as much work as like the Toadette one, but I could definitely build it out a bit more if you would like. Otherwise, I think this is okay. That was really good. Ah, thanks. Appreciate that. Okay. Where was I? Oh, God. Okay. Yeah, let me know what you're up to. Let me know what you're gonna do, okay? I'll just keep going until you're good or something. I don't know. Let's see. Well, I need this so I can hear. That there. Tell us who's the scoundrel who stole the Koban and hid it under the stake. Well, we know it's not Kazuma, and we know it's not Eugen, and we know it's not Ouchie or the dead guy. Well, I guess it could have been him. Could have been the waiter? It doesn't feel like it's the waiter. I feel like they haven't given us enough info to know this. I really don't feel like we actually know the answer to this. Like, I can just say it was Giselle, but I don't even know that.
Take that!
Yes, seems like a candidate for the Koban thief. No, come on, Ryunosuke. Huh? You shocked me, Kazuma. Not as much as you shocked me. No one could have approached the table unnoticed. Put that back. Move my mic back closer. No one could have approached the table and noticed. Even if you're a crazy fool, you couldn't have missed that. I'm not sure you should be calling Korakuta-san a crazy fool, Kazuma. It's you I was calling the crazy fool. Ah, maybe I'm on the wrong track here.
I don't believe I have heard you correctly, counsel. Let me hear your opinion on the matter again.
So... Nobody could have approached the table? So you're saying John Wilson did it? Because there was only 2 people at the table.
Take that!
No, he says, no, it's not that. Okay. I am confused as to the directions they gave me. Because if it wasn't him...
Take that! Take that!
I guess it's Yesanosa. Obviously, it can only be you. Sergeant Yesanosa! What? How? How dare you? You monster. Monster? I stole that koban, did I? I'm the master thief of La Carnival, am I? You're seriously accusing me of these crimes, cadet. But it wasn't me, it was Ido! Ido is the mastermind behind all this! You're blaming it on your baby. You would push the blame for your crimes on your own son, an innocent little baby? It's you who's the monster, Sergeant Nosa! You! Ah! Clippity cloppity, clippity cloppity, clippity cloppity, clippity cloppity. Gah! Nippon Imperial Army Sergeant Yesanosa preparing to stand down in the Supreme Court, sir. Do any of you know of the extraordinarily low wages the Nippon Imperial Army pays those it expects to keep our country safe?
I understand that the temporary increase in taxation owing to the recently ended conflicts remains in place, and I have heard it's hard for lower-ranking officers to make a living, yes.
All I want is to put a hot meal on the table for my son. That's why you were stealing things at the restaurant? The place is heaving with money. Every 3 days, I'd go in there and do reconnaissance for a target. And I'd enjoy chomping my way through a good steak at the same time. It sounds like he doesn't bother with a knife and fork either, even. Which is worryingly believable. And your target that day was the old man in his koban. Yes, sir. He was an easy mark. I slipped the coin into my pocket without any trouble at all. A veritable phantom thief you are. I, too, have played Persona 5. I was all set to leave the steak I was halfway through devouring when it happened. Yes, when the professor was shot. I knew that if the police conducted a search and found the coin in my pocket, I'd be finished. Ido too. So I hid the incriminating evidence as fast as I could on the double. I slipped it under the steak, hoping that I'd be able to rendezvous with it again at a later date. Everybody's like, this guy's an idiot. This is ridiculous. Perhaps you could carry on with this absurd prattling on your own time. Well, Miss Brett.
Oh, of course, dear lady, of course. How rude of us. I'm sure there's no need to detain you any longer at all. May the esteemed gentlewoman please be excused, Your Excellency.
Indeed.
You can't take it yet? Oh, no.
The theft of the Koban was clearly perpetrated by this baby-saddled sergeant.
Remind you in an hour? Sure.
It would certainly appear to be unrelated to Dr. Wilson's murder.
No? Everybody's so stupid. Of course it is. Oh, good. Hiding a coin under a lump of meat. The sheer nonsense of such an idea astounds me. You're fine. Nonsense, is it? Oof. And as for picking up your steak and biting it into it without using a knife and fork, it's beyond nonsense. It's pure madness.
Very well. Now that all questions concerning the witness's testimony have been answered, I see no further justification for detaining her. Miss Brett, you are free to leave.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Good luck, everyone. And good day.
Ryunosuke, what's the matter with you? This is no time for daydreaming.
Oh, no, it's just... something about Miss Brett's parting words there got me thinking. I can't quite work out what exactly, but something she said jarred with me. I feel like there was a contradiction in there somewhere. Something that didn't quite add up.
If that's the case, don't just stand there thinking, make your voice heard.
Sorry?
You can think later, but if you don't call out now, it'll be too late. The trial will be over.
Hold it!
Wait, Miss Brett. What is it now? I'm afraid just one last time. There's something I'd like to ask you. I'd like you to explain the contradiction in your parting words from just a few moments ago. What are you talking about? What contradiction?
What new student nonsense is this?
Well, what parting words are you talking about, Ryunosuke?
Hiding a coin under a lump of meat. The sheer nonsense of such an idea astounds me.
It's a memory, so it's echoey, I guess.
And as for picking up your steak and biting into it without a knife and fork, it's beyond nonsense. It's pure madness. Yes, I'm right. What she said there exposed an undeniable contradiction.
I'm going to need to see evidence, counsel. If Miss Brett's words truly are contradictory, where is the evidence to prove it?
Oh, I love you too. This is so dumb, and I know where they're going with this. It's so dumb that hurts my brain. My brain is injured from this, but I know what they want from me. Literally, everybody is going to be dumber for having seen this.
Take that!
What do they want? The guy was like, I picked up my steak and I ate it with my hands. And now we're going to be like, if he ate it with his hands, why does he have a knife and fork? Because he ordered at a restaurant, and of course they're going to give him utensils. Oh wait, no, the fork has some juice on it. That's why. Well, he probably like jabbed it with the fork and was eating it off like the whole... Whatever. He ate it with his hands like a psychopath, I guess. That's the only way they could make this story make sense. Thank you. What's interesting is the plate of steak that you can see on the victim's table.
The steak that Miss Brett had been eating before the professor was killed, yes.
More accurately, Your Excellency, the steak that was on the victim's table just before the professor was killed.
Now you're just splitting hairs.
Not true. Doesn't something about the steak strike you as very unnatural?
Unnatural? What on earth do you mean?
We are not Arab. It's extremely obvious. I'm talking about the shape of the edge where it's been eaten. That's not even remotely what I was going with, but okay. I see you've noticed it too, Miss Brett.
Noticed what exactly, Counsel?
Just a few moments ago, Miss Brett claimed no Englishman could even contemplate picking up a steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork.
Of course she did. She's a refined English gentlewoman herself.
Then take a good look at this steak, in particular the edge of where it's been eaten. As you can see, there are clearly defined barbaric teeth marks there.
Oh.
It looks like Miss Brett has realized something. So, if the witness, as she claims, wouldn't contemplate eating anything without a knife and fork, there shouldn't be teeth marks in the steak at all. Okay, I just have to say something. What if this entire game was just this case? And they're like, that's not the right cut of beef in the end anyway. Actually, there was a whole nother cow involved. The farmer said, I don't know, just like, this is the whole game. That's what it feels like, because it's been the whole game this whole time. How many hours of this stupid case are we going to do before we get to the actual... This is the tutorial. This is the tutorial. We haven't even met the main prosecutor yet.
But what is your actual point? Perhaps the delightful Miss Brett was ravenously hungry and she couldn't... Oh, whatever you say, dear lady.
As I said, I really must be leaving now. Afternoon tea with the Minister of Justice cannot possibly wait any longer.
Of course, of course. This'll be over in the blink of an eye. Rest assured, I'm about to put this rookie in his place.
I've heard enough. You irritating little speckled samurai relic.
Of course. Dear lady.
You know why they had those top knots? Do you actually know the reason why? It's because back in like samurai era Japan, they would wear these hats on their head, and if the hat got knocked off their head, it was like the most disrespectful, dishonorable thing or something. So they would put those knot things up, and they would like tie their hat to it, so their hat couldn't get knocked off. What's the matter, Miss Brett? Have we ruffled your feathers? Clearly, the witness knows what this means. She's realized the catastrophic implication these teeth marks have in the steak have for her. Ryunosuke, do you know where you're going with this? Yes, now at last, it's all come together. They switched the steak out! The mysterious teeth marks in the steak had allegedly been eaten with cutlery. The reason why the blood stain I know I saw somehow seems to have disappeared. It's because they switched it out. Remember when I guessed this immediately after they showed us the steak that they swapped it out? Like... Most importantly, the evidence that proves once and for all who shot Dr. Wilson that day.
I accept that these teeth marks in the steak are a little unnatural, as you put it, Counsel. But what exactly are you suggesting that tells us?
Everything, Your Excellency.
Everything?
Yes, I believe that these barbaric teeth marks in the steak here amount to the conclusive evidence in this case. Evidence that will prove beyond a doubt who shot Dr. Wilson. Conclusive evidence? How many times have I heard that today? I know, right? I'm with her on this one. You wouldn't know the meaning of the phrase, typical Japanese empty threats.
How can you be so sure?
Oh, it's quite simple. If you really had such conclusive evidence, you would have presented it to the court long ago. Actually, the evidence I'm talking about hasn't been brought before the court yet.
Hasn't been what?
But just because it hasn't been shown yet doesn't mean that the evidence does not exist.
This is absurd. This trial has run several hours already, and you're saying there's evidence yet to be brought forward? There can't be. I don't believe you have it.
I don't, but there's someone who does have it. Someone in this very courtroom. And that person, if that person's willing to submit the piece of evidence I'm referring to, it will solve every remaining mystery about this case. He pointed.
Very well. I have a feeling this will be my last request of the defense in this trial. Who possesses the conclusive evidence that will reveal the truth about this whole affair?
It's Satoru Hosonaga. He has all the evidence that's not been presented. I don't even know why they're asking me this, because we already know that.
Take that!
The answer is obvious. It's Inspector Hosonaga. What? I have it? Yes, because we've long established that you have it. All the evidence that's not here, we've long established this. We've talked about this multiple times. You think I've been withholding conclusive evidence? That's ridiculous. No, I'm not saying that. Everyone's attention has been focused on this steak with the teeth marks.
Yes.
Now, earlier this afternoon, Sergeant Nosa told the court the following. I'd enjoy chomping my way through a good steak. And as well as admitting to stealing Kuraketa-san's coin, he told us that he slipped it under the steak. You watch it, cadet. I'm a superior officer. Sergeant Nosa, could you please confirm something for me? Was the steak that you put the coin under, in fact, your own steak? Tenshun! Affirmative, of course. I might be a soldier in the Imperial Nippon Army, but still. I'm not brave enough to ask a foreign gentlelady if she'd mind me handling her meat to hide something in it. In other words, the steak that the detective submitted as evidence earlier was in fact Sergeant Nosa's meal.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa. But that makes no sense. That plate was taken from the victim's table.
Yet the gentlewoman doesn't take bites out of her steak, nor did she have any opportunity to steal the coin. Of course I didn't steal it. To even suggest such a thing would be an affront to the entire British Empire.
Well then, how do you explain this paradox?
Exactly. Surely you're not going to suggest that the sergeant switched the two steaks over. You did switch the plates.
Well, after it happened, when I saw the civilian had been murdered right in front of my eyes like that, I panicked. As I said, I immediately lifted my steak and hid the coin under it. But when the waiter announced he was an undercover policeman, I thought I'd had it. If he had decided to investigate the slab of meat, that'd be it. I'd be getting my marching orders. So when the cadet here was arrested and taken off to the kitchen, I seized my chance. With military precision and timing, I switched my steak with the one on the foreign lady's table. What? You can't have. I never saw you do such a thing. It was called Operation Lightning Bolt. There was no time for strategic planning. It was do or die, I tell you, so yes! I did what had to be done.
Unbelievable!
However, fear not, Prosecutor San.
What now?
I swear on the brass buttons on my uniform, that's all I did, sir. Did Nosa or Brett do it? No, it's totally the lady. He was just trying to steal a coin.
All you did? That's plenty, Sergeant.
Yes!
Because he hid... And because he just happened to hide the coin underneath the steak that he was eating, which just happened to be the same meal that the other lady was eating. And then she just happened to not notice when he did it. Somehow. Because apparently the explanation of the game is he did it fast. Then, because of all that, we know that the stakes were switched. Which means that the blood stain was on the opposite steak plate. Which proves that I didn't shoot him. Because if I had shot him, I would have shot him in the front, and the bullet didn't pass through him, meaning the blood wouldn't have been able to land behind him. Also, they still haven't answered the question. Why was the body of Dr. Wilson sitting next to the beefsteak when he wasn't eating the beefsteak? I guess maybe he mistakenly put the beefsteak next to Dr. Wilson? But the only reason we thought he was eating it in the first place is because he was next to it. So it just so happened that they accidentally put the steak in front of him? I still don't know. So Sergeant Nosa switched the plates over. It means he took Miss Brett's steak and the plate it was on back to his own table.
Yes, that follows.
Inspector Hosonaga. Yes. Earlier in this trial, you told the court this. You said that you had not only taken Miss Brett's steak after the incident, but also the sergeant's. To preserve evidence, you had taken both. Ah! Oh, she's freaking out. That's correct. Then please present it to the court now. The plate that was actually in the victim's table at the precise moment he was shot! What can that possibly tell us now? I mean, a cold slab of tough meat, it can't have the slightest bearing on this case. No, you're not wriggling your way out of it this time, lady. I beg your pardon. Surely you're not that forgetful. Surely you remember the reason why the steak pan promises to prove such a problem for you, no? No, because everybody keeps forgetting everything. You're the ones who decided it was a problem, not me. The reason the defense asked to see the plate was to confirm something the defendant remembers seeing. Tisk thinks he remembers. I'm quite sure of what I saw, Miss Brett. Why can't she be forgetful? Everyone else has been worse. That's so true. On the side of the plate that was on the table directly behind Dr. Wilson, there was a clear spattering of blood from the gunshot wound to the victim's chest. I believe the defendant's memory serves him well. And now we have the evidence to prove it. The plate you were eating from, Miss Brett.
Let us not prolong this any further.
They've said like 17 times.
Inspector, you will show the evidence to the court. Present the beefsteak and plate that was originally on the victim's table at the time of the incident.
Yes, sir. Bum, 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 bum. The song's great. I'm sorry for keeping you. Here's the other steak and its plate. Please feel free to examine it. The blood stain. It's clearly visible. Look! Now this makes everything clear. The blood you can see on the side of the plate shows that at the moment the victim was shot, he was facing the table with his back to me. In other words, it's impossible for Naruhodo-san to have shot the victim. Ah! It can't be! In fact, there's only one person who could have possibly shot Dr. Wilson from the front. Anybody who was in front of it! I mean, I'm sure everybody knows who that person is. Hosonaga, by examine the steak, do you perhaps chance me to eat this steak? That's right, Miss Giselle Brett. It's you! Are we gonna see her face now? Welcome, Panquil. We're gonna see your face now? Outdone by a Japanese. Me. By a Japanese schoolboy. No, no, no. Kya! Oh, wait, she screams like a Japanese. Kya! Or whatever. Whoa! Ah! What the heck? What the heck? Yes, the tutorial is very long. Like, I'm like, we're way past due. Let's end this. Come on. Please excuse my little outburst. I briefly lost my composure. Most unbecoming behavior from an English gentlewoman. Forgive me.
Well, Miss Brett, I think it's time you told the court what actually happened that day. The truth this time.
It is clearly the I mean, I know that this has two games in it, and I haven't played the other game, but I played all the main Ace Attorney stuff. This is super long for a tutorial. She freaking ascended, and her hat gave birth to chicks. Yeah, basically. Gladly, Your Excellency. It was I who took the professor's life using Curer. You played Trilogy 1, Trilogy 2, and Investigations collections. Did they ever translate the second game in Investigations to English? Because if they did, I haven't played that one. It wasn't translated back when I was playing these. It's been a long time. Oh, they did. Okay. Oh, well, that's sweet. I did not know that. So I played every game in the franchise except for Investigations 2 and the Great Ace Attorney stuff. I've even played the Professor Layton one. Not on stream. A lot of these are not on stream. The original trilogy I did play on stream. As you surmised, I chose that particular day for one very important reason. Oh, good. Official translation sounds great. I gotta pick that up at some point then. The professor had a dental appointment for the extraction of one of his teeth in the morning. It was okay. I got stuck on the Professor Layton's puzzles, like, pretty far in. Like, I was close to the end, and I just couldn't figure out some of the puzzles, and I was like, I'm not looking them up, and then I eventually just stopped playing the game. Yeah, I thought so too, but I was incorrect. We can actually play Investigations. So you plan to kill the professor, knowing that no trace of poison would be found in his water. Because Curer is unheard of here in Japan. Yes. Of course, I never intended to remain at the restaurant for as long as I did. I only needed to see the professor take one tiny sip of his water, and it would all be over. I would place the steak I had ordered in front of him to make it appear as though he had been dining alone, and leave immediately, however. Before any of that happened, there was an unexpected visitor at the professor's table. That would be me, I suppose. Yes, you. Who else? Such a trifling matter, but the fact that you decided to come over and greet the professor meant that I had lost my chance to slip away unnoticed. In due course, the professor took a sip of his water and was paralyzed. I made sure he was sitting in a chair such that he wouldn't fall. There was no going back at that point, so I concocted a plan in the spur of the moment. I'll just drop a gun here, drop a gun there. A plan to pin Dr. Wilson's murder on this innocent man. I happen to know that the professor always carried a gun. I decided to use that fact to my advantage. I had the bottle of Cure Air in my handbag, and my own pistol concealed under my skirt.
Ah, under your skirt!
So I was right. There were 2 guns. Thank you for admitting that, I guess.
Yes.
And then I finished my coffee and got up to leave. And that's when I noticed the professor's gun, which you had presumably placed on the floor, placed where you were sure that I would notice it.
And everything went according to plan. You noticed the gun as I intended. And then, just as you bent down to pick it up,
that's when you shot the professor with your own gun. Even though at that point he was already dead. Omaiwa mo Shindaru, as my people say.
naturally, the gunshot caused a commotion, at which point the waiter appeared. Obviously, I assumed Naruhodo-san was the culprit and apprehended him. I took him to the pantry that adjoins the kitchen and locked him inside. That's when I took the opportunity to turn the professor and his chair around.
Then, okay, that's fine. That's fine. Why is the stake in front of him, though? Because, of course, you needed to make it look like the defendant had shot Dr. Wilson where he'd picked up the gun. From where he'd picked up the gun. Because when the guy swapped the stakes, he didn't know, and he put it in front of Dr. Wilson? That's like the only explanation I've got, and they haven't said it yet.
So there you have it. That is the entirety of my misdemeanor.
That's called murder, not misdemeanor.
Your Excellency,
Yes.
I wonder, might I speak with you in private later?
I shall call on you.
Thank you. Good day then, everyone. I hope you can forgive me, Naruhodo-san.
Does she have a gun right now? Oh, she just evaporated. Okay. Yeah. Just letting her leave. Just, judge didn't do anything, just...
It would seem this trial has finally run its course. I presume the prosecution is in agreement.
This can't be. Takasuchi Ouchi does not lose. Not to the likes of this rookie student.
You'd better start getting used to tough opposition.
Ryunosuke Naruhodo!
What? Yes?
This insult to the Ouchi family name will never be forgotten.
Yeah, she just walked away. You become conceited with age, Counsel. But the old have to stand aside and make way for the new. It's the way of the world. It was all in vain. May you never forget that. Yeah, they cut his hair! Somehow. A 1,000 millennia may pass, and still the Ouchi clan will never measure up to the Naruhodo clan. And that's literally true. Phoenix Wright beats the pants off this guy in every game.
In this trial, in the Supreme Court of Japan, will...
Hold on. I think I missed a word there.
This trial in the Supreme Court of Japan will, I believe, go down in history as the start of a new chapter in our country's judicial system. Despite being summoned as the accused, you, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, presented an excellent case.
I thank you, Your Excellency.
The use of evidence and deduction to unravel the truth is a modern methodology.
It seemed like a weird way to end that sentence, so I was struggling with it.
After all, It has only been a few short decades since our country opened its doors to the wider world. But the Western idea of science are rapidly gaining acceptance here.
Hydrate. Let's go. Thank you.
I feel sure that science will soon bring new methods of investigation and new procedures of justice. A new fruit.
New fruit. My gosh. I am struggling with the judge's text. Why am I struggling with the judge's text?
A new future of law awaits, but what it will look like, I cannot begin to imagine. That is for the young to pursue. Kazuma Asogi. Yes. After this trial, you are set to embark on a journey of discovery to the illustrious British Empire. Learn all you can. Absorb everything of the wider world that you are able to. And do not forget to fulfill the mission imposed upon you.
I understand, Your Excellency. What was that about? Why do you look so grave all of a sudden? Never mind.
As for you, Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
Oh, yes?
In you, I sense, how can I put it, unusual potential. I very much look forward to seeing how you carry that onwards.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
It is time to deliver the final verdict. I hereby find the defendant Ryunosuke Naruhodo
not guilty. We did it. We didn't paint. I mean, Ouchie's still like in the background. We didn't died. Node died. We survived. And now we can play the rest of the game. I don't know.
This court is now adjourned.
We finally beat the tutorial 3 steams later. One can interpret it as Ouchie pogging. Yeah, pretty much. He's like... Where's my... I don't have like a PogChamp face for my channel. I got this. I don't know. November 22nd. 2:46 p.m. Supreme Court of Judicature Defendants Antechamber 5. Why is it Antechamber 5 but Courtroom 2? I don't know if I get that. I can't believe it. I can't believe what's happened. I made it. I defended myself and made it through that horrendous trial. Ryunosuke, you finally pulled it off. Congratulations. Every case aside from 2 are even longer than this. I don't mind it being long, but it was a tutorial case, and I was like, why is it still going? Why is it still going? Good grade. Well, I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you, Kazuma. No, it was a pleasure to watch you at work. So, you owe me an extra large sukiyaki from the place on Yume University Street. Don't forget. Good afternoon. All your hard work has certainly paid off. Oh, no, it was her. Dang it. Good afternoon. Your hard work has certainly paid off. Congratulations to both of you for proving Naruhodo-san's innocence. Our trusty judicial assistant. You worked hard for that result too, you know. Oh no, I didn't do anything. Thank you so much. If we hadn't had that research report of Miss Brett's, I don't know how things would have turned out. You need a female voice actor. I volunteer as tribute. That's fair. Your kind words should really be for my father. I was simply doing as he asked. It was his idea for me to go to the university and investigate. I have like 3 female voices tops. And they're not pleasant for me to do all the time. Your father? Yes, of course. Forgive me for intruding on this court proceedings. Your Excellency. Susato Mikotoba. Judicial assistance to the defense. Oh, short stories? Yay, more stuff. Yay. Speaking of Mikatoba. Ah, there you are. I believe congratulations are in order. Naruhodo, you did an excellent job. Thank you, Professor. Oh no, it is I who should be thanking you, after all. Your efforts exposed the true criminal that took the life of my good friend. He's all like smiling. Good friend? Oh, yes, you mentioned that before. It was you who actually invited Dr. Wilson to Yume University, wasn't it? Yes, that's right. Professor Mikatoba studied overseas himself. He went to study forensic medicine in Great Britain. Presumably that's when you met Dr. Wilson? Exactly. In those days, we worked together in the same hospital. Oh, you worked together? He studied himself. He sure did. He knows his anatomy very well now. Almost did the wrong voice. I've never heard you mention that before. Well, it was a long time ago now, besides. It's your turn, Asogi. Great Britain is a magnificent country. It leads the world. In science, medicine, engineering, culture, not food, and of course in law. Not food. Watch it and learn, my boy. See what's happening in the world's largest melting pot. I will. I'll learn all that I can. I'm making his voice too old. I don't mean to do that. I swear on this, the spirit of the Asogi clan. You're not taking that sword to Great Britain, are you? Of course I am. Japanese man's katana is his soul. This blade shows me where I need to go. How would they know I'm Japanese if I'm not wandering around with a samurai sword? I guess. It cuts down anything that's in my way. Yes, I've definitely seen how sharp it is already with my own eyes. That reminds me, what happened to the woman? To Giselle Brett, I mean. After all, she's guilty of murder, like literal murder. Ah, yes, her. It's not easy to tell you this, but... What do you mean? Surely she's going to face trial herself now. She's the true culprit, after all. She will be leaving Japan in the very near future, for Shanghai. What? Shanghai? Giselle Brett will not appear in court again in this country, I'm sure of that. What? But why not? I don't know who's speaking, so I'm not gonna do a voice. It's a matter of consular jurisdiction. Oh, it's a matter of consular jurisdiction. Inspector Hosonaga. It was a hard-fought battle in the courtroom today. Very impressive to watch. I must congratulate... But what's all this about consular jurisdiction? I just smashed my controller on my fan on accident. I have not heard of Shadowverse. Let's see here. Hosanaga's voice. We cannot try this particular foreigner for her crimes here in Japan. What? We can't try her? But then who? Who's going to bring her to justice? A British consular court will hear her case, somewhere far away where our voices can't be heard. But why a consular court? Professor, I simply don't understand. I thought consular courts were a thing of the past now that we've signed the friendship treaty. I've played like Legends of Runeterra, Hearthstone. I played a little bit of like one of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Linked something or other, and just also like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Switch game, whatever that was called. Also Link something or other. Basically, Anime CCG got a sequel recently. Great game, but bad monetization. Oh, okay. I don't know. I could look it up. Maybe. Let's see here. I thought consulars were a thing of the past now that we've signed the friendship treaty. Yes, in normal circumstances, you're right. Then, so long as this is not a serious incident of a highly political nature to our respective governments, they can't invoke a consular court just like that. Oh, can't they? Yes, she's a student, but it doesn't justify our government's making secret agreements about her fate, does it? Something strange is going on. So Miss Brett can't be held accountable for her actions here in Japan. She can do whatever she wants. Literal murder. I'm afraid that for the young student, today's trial was nothing more than a game all along. There was never any danger of comeuppance for her. I don't believe it. The British government's Foreign Affairs Ministry has demanded that we hand over custody of Miss Brett. Literally, she can be a serial killer with no consequence. What the heck? The Japanese aren't going to stop her. They're obviously taking this case of a foreign student committing murder very seriously. It is insane. It's actually crazy. But it's all going to change from now on. We can make it change. This is a time of great turmoil. This new era heralded by the start of the 20th century. One day, I have no doubt, that woman will receive the judgment she deserves. Someday. Off in the future. Just assume it's gonna happen. Is her name Brett as a pun on Brit because she's British? I didn't think of that. I just thought it was funny because Brett's like a guy's name. Let's see. Yeah. Yes, change is coming, and we're the ones driving it. Well, I think that's enough seriousness for now. This evening calls for a celebratory drink. But, Professor... You're right. This is no time for gloomy faces. A murderer got away, but, whatever. We should be celebrating Ryunosuke's not guilty verdict. Let's start having some fun. In that case, might I suggest La Carnival? As the head waiter, I should be delighted to provide you with ample food and drink. You're a detective, Hosonaga-san, aren't you? And why are you bleeding constantly? Have we addressed that yet? Let's not worry about the details for now. To La Carnival, will you accompany us, Professor? Of course. La Carnival's food is second to none. I shall go and attend to the paperwork for Naruhodo-san's release. Oh, yes, thank you. He needs to go to a doctor. I hope they address the fact that he's sick or something. So, Giselle Brett won't be tried here. Giselle. Is it like jail, which she doesn't go to? I don't know if her name is supposed to be a pun or not. I suppose that means we'll never know. I'll never find out why she killed Dr. Wilson. We never found out the motivation. She just did it. Wow. Kazuma? Yes, Ryunosuke. I just wanted to say thanks again, that's all. You really saved my skin today. I didn't do a thing. You were the lawyer in there, weren't you? That defense was all your own work. Your skills made the difference, though. One day, I bet you'll be the best lawyer in the world. I'm not so sure about that. To be honest, something kept occurring to me over and over again during that trial. I couldn't help but thinking that maybe you're the one destined to become a great lawyer, not me. What? Come on, be serious. If I helped you today, it was only right at the very start of the trial. But you have a natural talent for it. For being a defense lawyer, I mean. Oh no, not me. All that tense verbal combat? I never want to go through that ever again. Foreshadowing? Something? I just did what you told me to do, that's all. Because I knew I could trust you. That's the point. Sorry? What do you mean that's the point? Listen, Ryunosuke. Do you know what the most crucial weapon is that any lawyer needs in order to win? It's unwavering belief in the truth, probably, or something? Knowledge of the law? No. The ability to believe. To believe? To believe what?
A defense lawyer has to fight for his clients. He has to believe in them at all times.
Like you believed in me when I said I didn't do it.
I'm human, just like you. I don't have some superhuman ability to know the truth. I don't have a megatama that tells me when people are lying.
Mia-like statement? Yeah.
But you have to make a choice about what to believe in and stick to it when you're defending someone. Sometimes in the courtroom, you can really be backed into a corner. But being able to remain faithful to what you choose to believe in, even then, well, that's not something that anyone can do. It takes a special kind of person.
Believing in your client.
Just look at today's trial. I'm a student lawyer with precious little real experience, but you've never stopped believing in me.
Well,
You face seemingly hopeless situations time and again, but you never stopped looking for the truth. And in the end, you found it through your own efforts, and because you never stopped believing in me.
Thanks, Kazuma.
He's being a really good Mia, that's for sure. I like this guy quite a bit. There's something I want to ask you, actually, Ryunosuke. Well, it's a favor, really. Something very important to me.
It sounds serious. What is... you're still here. Oh, Inspector Hosonaga. I've arranged some rickshaws for us. Let's go.
Thank you. We'll be right there.
Wait, is Hosonaga in multiple cases?
Let's pick up this conversation again later. We should be celebrating right now. Your first court victory.
And your study tour to Great Britain, don't forget.
Ah, yes, that too.
So my very first trial came to an end. Kazuma. Professor Mikotoba. Susato-san, who acted as my assistant. Inspector Hosonaga, who didn't really play much of a part, but still.
I mean, he did. I mean,
It was because of the help and support of all these people that I managed to get through that trial. But more importantly, Kazuma hadn't yet managed to ask his favor of me. Little did I realize just how much it would change my life.
You missed the very end of the case. Where she gets away scot-free and then leaves, and then we're like, let's go celebrate, and they're like, you did good. No, you did good. No, you did good. Hosonaga slander is unlocked. Yeah, no, he did a lot. Okay. I recommend playing 10 minutes of Case 2 if you have the time. Okay. I would have quit here, but since you said 10 minutes of it, I'll do it. But, like, I can only do so many voices. So, sure, we'll take a look. Oh, you can just go to any of the cases? Huh. Alright. Episode 2, The Adventure of the Unbreakable Speckled Band. Alright. Like a band, or like a
that small dark room, Sholmes and I waited with bated breath. In time, there came from the ventilator a hiss and a soft, almost growl-like sound. Suddenly, Sholmes sprang into action, lashing furiously with his cane at a point in the darkness. "You see it, Wilson?" he yelled, his tense voice reverberating through the air.
Wilson.
I raised my dark lantern shutter, and the room slowly came into view. Sholmes was staring intently at one particular corner when he started whispering to me. The victim's most perplexing final words. The speckled band.
Rose.
I believe this is the terrible coil to which she referred, Watson. In front of us was an enormous adder, its fangs bared as it threatened to strike. It truly was the most terrible speckled band I had ever seen.
The golden speckled sphere. 9th of January, 6:37 a.m. I didn't read the rest because it went on without me. Oh, we're in an anime right now.
So then, let us unravel this mystery and discover what events led to this curious murder. Pray, do excuse me. The cabin door was bolted from the inside when the man was killed. No marks to suggest the bolt was tampered with in any way. So, this would appear to be a locked room mystery. In his
Guess
final
who
moments,
died?
the victim scrawled a message on the floor. Almost certainly with the ink from this upset bottle. A Russian word. So the victim was a Russian man then. And
I could not tell you.
Suggesting he was compos mentis at the time. This is a most extraordinary script. And evidently not penned by the same hand as this message. In fact, I deduce it was written by someone of a different nationality.
What is happening?
This paper seal was placed.
Oh, he has luminol or something.
The victim himself, I would venture. Well, what have we here?
Who are you, and what do you think you're doing here?
No one must touch before maritime police come. We must wait. That won't be necessary. You see, in less than 5 seconds from now, I will reveal the killer to you.
What? Don't be absurd. This is murder. And in cabin locked from inside.
I know.
Yes, the locked room. But that mystery is paper thin.
You don't mean the culprit is in there?
Who are you? And where have you come from? I'm a great British consultant detective, the only one in the world. Herlock Sholmes.
I knew it was gonna be Herlock.
You must have heard of me.
I freaking knew it was gonna be Herlock for some reason. Somebody died who I should recognize, which is very interesting because this is like olden times, and I know like only 10 characters of the olden times. Like it's like gonna be like the antique dealer or something. I don't know. Herlock Sholmes. My head is throbbing. What's going on? Something's not right here. There's trouble in the air. Wait, I can't move. Ah, what the? Why am I in handcuffs? Am I gonna have to prove my innocence from murdering somebody again? Is this entire game just Ryunosuke proves that he didn't kill people 5 times in a row? So you wake up now, Oh, he's Russian. Do you wake up now? I can't do a Russian accent even though I'm freaking Russian. Again? Again? We had to drag you out of wardrobe. I do not believe how you could not wake up. You are a true cold-blooded man. You? You found me then. Duh. We found you. And now you pay, criminal. That's not the surprising part? Alright. How long you hiding in that tiny wardrobe, sorry. Now you have been found. It is time to admit your crimes. Unless you want to find out how cold ocean is, No, I tell you everything. There's only one thing I'd like to know from you. Isn't that... Oh, there's only one thing I'd like to know from you. Why did you do it? Why did you take his life? Miss Susato? Is it like her dad? Nah, she'd be in shambles if it was her dad. Wait, what did you just say? Take his life? Where is he? Where's Kazuma? What? Ha! You pretend you do not know. You are wolf in sheep's belt. Kazuma's dead? He was there for one case, and he's dead? He really is Mia. He's not Maya, that's for sure. Holy cow. But he had a promising future, and he was a bro. No. Why must they kill all the cool characters on... Well, this is case 2, but still. He was my favorite character. How dare they? You are killer. Do not try to make excuses. What? Kazuma-san's body was discovered not long ago. Here, in this very cabin. It was bolted shut from the inside. His body? Please, do not try to tell us that what you were doing in this terrible thing. I'm trying to make it Russian. Do not try to tell us what you were doing, this terrible thing in your sleep. Kazuma's dead? But he can't be. In these handcuffs. Surely you don't think that I have to know. Why did you take Kazuma-san's life? Sama's life? Answer me, please. No. No! Freaking Mia. Ah. Kazuma. It was just 2 short weeks ago. Are you sure about this? We won't get in trouble.
Ha 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 ha. Don't you find it fun being a stowaway? Besides, how else could you come to England with me to study?
That does suck. It was really something else when they brought your luggage in here earlier, though. The way that Russian crewman just tossed your traveling case onto the floor. I thought I was going to die.
Yes, I still can't quite believe that.
Why would you want to sneak into another... Why would you... I guess I'll explain it in the case, whatever.
I really didn't think you'd be able to fit inside my trunk. You must be even less of a man than you look.
Hey, honestly, I thought I'd broken every bone in my body.
Well, it's about 50 days till we dock in Great Britain. But if you confine yourself in my cabin here, I don't expect anyone will discover you.
What the heck? Like almost 2 months of just sitting in one room, huh? I hope not. I get the feeling those Russians wouldn't be very forgiving of a stowaway.
They're a sturdy bunch, that's for sure.
What I want to know is, why do we need to keep it a secret from the young lady?
From our faithful judicial assistant Mikotoba, you mean?
From your close friend, more to the point, surely we could confide in her, couldn't we? I don't believe she'd give me away.
No, but if she knew what we'd done, that would make her guilty by association.
And also, that would make it so that this case wouldn't go the way that it's gonna go, I'm sure.
It's best that only you and I know about this.
I suppose so.
Anyway, it's about time that the steward is supposed to come and clean the cabin. I know it's cramped, but you better get in there, I think. It won't be for long. And anyway, compared to hiding inside my traveling case, it'll be a breeze.
Yes, but what if the steward decides to open the wardrobe for some reason? Then I'll be in for it.
Stop worrying. I tell you what. Why don't you keep out or something on this piece of paper?
What?
Then I can stick it over the wardrobe's doors when you're inside.
I don't know. We've only been at sea for about 15 days. How can this have happened? We were supposed to be going on this adventure to England together.
We leave you at next port. Stay quiet until then. Don't make more trouble for yourself. Murderer.
No, I'm not a murderer.
Ah, you said before. You said you admit everything about your crimes.
No, that's not right. I mean, yes, I did stow away on the ship, but murdering my best friend?
No one else could have done it. Admit the truth.
Bet the Russian did it. I bet we haven't even met the character yet. That would be my guess. Susato-san. Please, tell me what happened. I need to know.
Very well. But there is something I would like to ask you, too.
Those eyes. She looks like she's ready to destroy me. This nightmare is getting worse by the minute. I suppose all I can do is try to find out what really happened. Kazuma's death. He really has been killed, hasn't he? This isn't just a bad dream? And these handcuffs. They think I did it? They think I'm Kazuma's killer?
When they found him, the cabin was locked from the inside.
What do you mean?
There's no access to the cabin via a porthole window, and the bolt on the door can't be operated from outside. In other words, after the crime, the culprit couldn't have escaped these four walls.
What?
Or to put it another way, the culprit can only have been somebody inside the cabin. Or do you have some other explanation?
This is impossible. How did he die then? What happened exactly?
Are you still going to deny the charge, even despite the circumstances?
Please, Susato-san, you have to tell me.
The cause of death is still undetermined.
They don't know how he died.
The ship's doctor is examining the body, but of course, he has no post-mortem analysis experience. I don't suppose we shall learn more until an expert has been consulted at our next port of call.
So presumably that means there were no obvious external signs of injury then.
That's true, yes.
About the incident. Can't anyone tell me what actually happened here in this cabin? I don't understand it. Why would anyone want to kill Kazuma?
Presumably that's something you know the answer to better than anyone.
Please.
Whatever you say, you were here in the cabin after all.
Well, yes, I was, but...
He would always wake before dawn and do his training first thing in the morning. I was waiting outside his cabin, as I have every day so far on this voyage, but this morning he did not come. I could sense that he wouldn't.
Does that mean he was already dead when Susato-san arrived at his cabin door, I wonder?
I knocked, but there was no reply. Then I started to become worried, so I went to find a member of the crew. The crewman forced the cabin door open, and when he managed to get inside, there was Kazuma-san, collapsed on the floor. Sama.
What did he write on the floor? I missed it. And the white tape there shows exactly where he was found, I suppose. I had no idea anything had happened. I must have been asleep in the wardrobe somehow.
I wish it wasn't the case, but... that's just very hard to believe.
This is all very hard for me to believe too, trust me.
Now that I've told you everything that I know, so it's my turn to ask you a question.
Yes, alright. My head feels so heavy. It's still throbbing like anything. Stow away.
Why are you even on board this ship, Naruhodo-san? You said something before about being a stowaway, didn't you?
Oh, yes, I'm afraid that's true. It's 2 weeks since we left Japan now, and I've been shut up in this cabin the entire time.
I had no idea. But how could you have occupied Kazuma-sama's cabin this so long for without him noticing?
No. Oh, no, that would have been impossible, obviously.
Yes, of course.
Oh, because he wrote in Russian? That's why he said that. I was trying to figure out why he said that this whole time. Kazuma invited me. He wanted us to go to England together.
He actually asked you. But why? I'm afraid I don't really know the reason myself. I don't understand. Kazuma. Oh, Kazuma, why do you want this? What's the real reason? Why go to such extreme lengths to smuggle me to England with you?
It's an idea that's been on my mind ever since the end of that incredible trial. I think I told you then, didn't I? That you ought to become a lawyer yourself.
Well, yes, you did say that, but I didn't think you were serious.
You have a talent for it, I can assure you of that.
But I've never really thought about becoming a lawyer.
Well, that's something you can decide for yourself. London is at the spearhead of cultural development, the center of the world in many ways. There can't be any harm in seeing such an important place with your own eyes, can there?
Well, no, definitely not.
But on a personal level, if you were to become a lawyer, then...
So am I going to get his spirit to follow me around, or what? Then what?
Nothing. Forget it.
Kazuma-sama he was always saying the same thing, that he wanted to change the Japanese legal system. Perhaps he thought that he could do that with you. Yes, maybe. But something's still bothering me a little. The look in his eyes, then. It was darker than I'd ever seen it before. Susato-san. I'm sorry we kept it a secret from you, my stowing away on the ship, I mean. If I know Kazuma-sama, I expect he is trying to protect me, to avoid me from becoming guilty by association. Did he kill himself? I don't think so. That would be... So he's like, I'm going to kill myself to become a spirit. I'm going to inhabit this Megatama. Or something. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yes. Word perfect, in fact. Wait, he's Russian? No. Last night. If you're not the culprit, then tell me. What happened last night here in this cabin? Well, the thing is, I don't really remember. Yeah, the dying message is in Russian, but like... Since when could he do that? Like, somebody else probably wrote it, right? So either he wrote it or someone else made his hand write it. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Somebody else probably made his hand write it. Kazuma brought me something to eat, just like he always did. Then I got myself into that wardrobe over there, just like I always did. And after that, I... Fell asleep? Well, yes. So deeply that you didn't even stir when Kazuma-sama was killed? Well, yes. I know it sounds unbelievable, really, I do, but it's the truth. If only I'd woken up, then perhaps I wouldn't be in this predicament. And for some reason, my head's still throbbing like anything. Like somebody hit you in the head, maybe, or something. Really? Or drugged you, or something? Is something wrong? Oh, no, it's... Please forget it. Susato-san, you have to believe me. I didn't do it. I really don't want to doubt you. But the trouble is, there's no one else who could possibly have done this. Ugh. Kazuma, I don't understand. Why? Why did this have to happen? Ugh, I can't take this. Don't try to go anywhere. You're the perpetrator of this crime. You can't leave. I can't allow that to happen. I'm sorry, but Kazuma was killed right under my nose here. And I didn't do anything to stop it. And now I'm supposed to just sit around, my hands tied, while whoever did this walks free? No, I can't allow that to happen. Well, what do you propose to do then? I'm going to investigate. I'm going to find out exactly what happened here. I'm going to work out who took Kazuma's life and how and why they did it. I'm so sorry, but you're going to have to excuse me. Hey, yeah!
What the? That was a Susato takedown. A Susato what? What martial arts form is that? I'm going to need you to prove it. Sorry, prove it?
Yeah, the punching thing is perfect here.
Yes, your innocence. I need evidence. But how am I supposed to... Have you forgotten already? What you achieved just a few weeks ago? You successfully defended yourself in a court of law. Ah, I see. She's expecting me to present some conclusive evidence. I have to get Susato-san to believe me. I'll show her some evidence right now that proves I'm not guilty of this awful crime. It's my badge.
Yes!
Alright, then how about this? You can't trick me with something irrelevant like that. Oh. I guess I better try to come up with something more convincing. Otherwise I get a feeling she'd throw me on the floor all over again. The way you're looking at me, I think perhaps I didn't throw you hard enough. No, it was definitely hard enough. Let me show you something else. I have to get Susato-san to believe me. I'll show her evidence.
Yes!
Tell me, when I was discovered in the wardrobe before, was this piece of paper stuck over the doors?
Fun fact, the poster says Akeruna, literally open don't. Oh, okay. Akeruna. I see the ah character, and then K. K. Kind of looks like Rue to me, but that does not look like Na to me. I don't know. I can, wait, oh, it's right here. Yeah! Just ignore that. I got them right here! My practice cards. My katakana cards. Anyway. I've studied hiragana and katakana, and I used to be able to read them reasonably, somewhat, kind of. But it's been a long time. So, like, even if I can read it, I don't know what the word means. Oh, yes, it was. I remember clearly. You got me, though. Don't call me a weeb. I thought so. Kazuma always put it in place whenever I went to sleep in there. Just in case the cabin steward or other crew member decided to look inside. Does it really get an Anki deck? Ah, yes, I have it. I already have it, don't worry. I just never use it. I used it twice, I think. So naturally, he did the same last night as well. Ah, yes, of course. The gentleman who discovered you peeled that sign from the wardrobe doors before he opened them. But if I were truly the culprit, I couldn't have climbed back inside the wardrobe and stuck this on the outside of the doors on my own. Yes, that's quite true. In other words, it's impossible that I killed Kazuma. I guess. Well, even if you are sprawled hopelessly on the floor, I can see why Kazuma-sama thought so highly of you. Thank you, Susato-san. Now, do you think perhaps you could help me up? Okay. I don't think I can handle much more of this. My voice feels like it's gonna get start cracking and stuff. Well, in the light of that evidence, I don't see any reason why I should stop you from investigating in here, at least. Thank you. So you finally believe me? I'm sorry. No. What? I'm not sure yet. I can't rule out the possibility that you used some sort of conjuring trick to put the sign back in position. What does she think I am, a magician? For now, I suggest you investigate as thoroughly as possible in here. Oh yeah, you're welcome. I'll do the same. Alright, let's get to work, Susato-san. Please don't misunderstand me. I still have my doubts. Oh. Yeah, I haven't eaten lunch yet either, and it's like 5 o'clock almost. I shall be watching you to make sure that you do nothing that might disturb the crime scene. I wouldn't want you using your conjuring tricks to destroy evidence, for example. Right.
Well, anyway, I should make a start on investigating in here. Examine everything that I can. Kazuma, I swear, I will avenge your death.
So if this is anything like the investigation series, I'm not going to court, I'm just proving something on the scene, which is kind of an interesting crossover, kind of. Okay. I need to breathe and not talk for a while. It's almost 3 hours of voice acting is pretty rough. I don't know how the people who like do that for a living actually do it. But my gosh, my actual lungs kind of hurt. So, Panquill, it was nice to meet you. I hope that we see you again. This is the only full investigation case in the entire franchise other than the Edgeworth spin-off games. Yeah, gotcha. Cool. That's cool that they did something a little different. Yeah, nice to meet you. Katie, I'm sure I'll talk to you soon. But I am going to stop streaming now and take a break. So I will see you guys around. Yep, see ya.